By Jeff Gentil Game, 51, UC vs. Ohio State. Tuesday, on their annual Education Day, the Bearcats welcomed in several hundred school kids in addition to the Buckeyes from Columbus. The Bearcats were not good hosts as they beat and battered the Buckeyes bad enough the teams mutually agreed to end the affair in the 7th inning after UC was up 10 runs. With the postseason coming, neither team wanted to overuse their bullpens. So after using its 7th pitcher on the day, it was a good time for the Buckeyes to pack up and head north to Columbus. It wasn't all UC all day. OSU took an early 1-0 lead off a solo homer in the top of the 2nd. After that, it was the Bearcats' day as they took the lead for good in the 3rd after an A.J. Bumpus sacrifice fly followed by a Cole Murphy double to score Connor McVeigh and Manny Rodriguez. Murphy would eventually score on a wild pitch, putting UC up 4-1. After the Buckeyes inched closer with 2 in their half of the 5th, the Bearcats went to work again. Joey Wiemer bunt scored Bumpus. Kyle Modis followed with a bases-clearing 3-run triple down the right field line, and he then scored on a McVeigh single to center. Andre Bremner would knock in Wiemer with a single of his own in the 6th, and the Bearcats had increased their lead to 10-3. A ground out in the top of the 7th for OSU make it 10-4, but the Bearcats were poised to pounce once again. Joey Wiemer was hit with a pitch with the bases loaded to score 1, then Treg Haberkorn ended the affair with a bases-clearing 3-run double scoring Wiemer, Bumpus, and Rodriguez. Garrett Schonel, making his first college start, earned the win going 4 solid innings, allowing 1 run on just 1 hit. Isaac Olson pitched the final 3, allowing 2 earned runs in collecting his first college save. Game 52, UC vs. USF. Thursday. Friday's opener was a wild one. It began like the Ohio State game did as USF opened scoring in the top of the 2nd with a solo homer. UC would immediately take the lead in the bottom of the 2nd thanks to an RBI single from Kyle Modis and a sock fly off the bat of Connor McVeigh. In the top of the 3rd, USF regained the lead with a 2-run homer off the bat of Tyler Dietrich. But once again, UC would take the lead back in the bottom of the inning when Joey Wiemer hit a 2-run homer scoring A.J. Bumpus. Manny Rodriguez would hit a solo shot in the 5th, making it 5-3 UC. Jeff Ord would single 1 run in, and J.D. Dutko would reach on a fielder's choice which knotted the score at 5-5. UC would again immediately respond with a run in the bottom of the inning to take the lead back when Cole Murphy singled and Eric Santiago. USF tied the score with a solo homer off Clayton Colvin in the 8th. But UC, as they had done 3 previous times in the game, responded in a big way. Kyle Modis, who was 4 for 4 in the game, laid down a squeeze bunt which scored Treg Haberkorn, giving UC the lead back. But they weren't done as Eric Santiago provided some big-time insurance with a 3-run triple to right center, scoring Connor McVeigh, Kyle Modis, and Mason Deanna, and UC had a 10-6 lead. USF would hit a solo homer in the 9th, but Colvin closed it out and UC had taken Game 1 of the series. Game 53, UC vs. USF. Friday, Game 1 of 2. Due to the forecast, Friday turned out to be a doubleheader to complete the conference in regular season. Sadly, it would not be a happy ending for the home team. Starter Jalen Wade was roughed up for 6 runs in his 4.2 innings on 7 hits and 5 walks. It was 6-1 in favor of the Bulls by the time UC batted in the fourth, when Manny Rodriguez and Joey Weimer both went deep to left center. It was the 12th homer for Rodriguez in a fantastic senior season. It was Weimer's 5th of his freshman campaign. A Connor McVay sac fly in the 5th brought the Bearcats to within a run at 6-5, but the Bulls tacked on 2 more in the 6th off Isaac Olson to push the lead to 8-5. The Bearcats were able to mount a rally in the bottom of the 9th. Following a catcher's interference and singles by Kyle Mattis and McVay, the tying run was on base with just 1 out. Unfortunately, Manny Rodriguez lined out and A.J. Bumpus struck out to end the threat in the game, thus tying the series at a game apiece. Game 54, UC vs. USF Friday, Game 2 of 2. It was a bitter end for the seniors, but they never gave up, despite being down 4-0, 7-2, and 8-4. Senior Tristan Hammonds started but was touched up for 7 runs in 4.1 innings. Fellow senior A.J. Polas relieved Hammonds and was able to stop the bleeding and let his team back in the game, and that's exactly what they did. Down 7-2 in the bottom of the 7th, A.J. Bumpus reached on a USF error to bring the Bearcats within 3 at 7-4. The Bulls would get one of those back in the top of the 8th, but the Bearcats were not ready to go down without a fight. The bottom of the inning began with Treg Haberkorn doubling to right center. After freshman Cael Baker walked, Kyle Mattis loaded the bases with an infield single to second base. Connor McVay walked to bring in a run, making the score 8-5. With still no out and the tying run on first, Manny Rodriguez cleared the bases with a double and the game was tied at 8-8 and the go-ahead run on second. But that would be the end of the scoring as A.J. Bumpus would strike out looking, then Rodriguez would be thrown out trying to steal third. On the same pitch, Eric Santiago struck out. Going to the 9th, Jared Yoakum was brought on to keep the game scoreless and give the Bearcats a chance to allow the seniors to ride off into the sunset as winners. Sadly, it wasn't meant to be as USF mounted a rally and pushed across a run with a 2-out single to lead 9-8. The bottom of the 9th was relatively quiet as Joey Weimer worked a 1-out walk. But Treg Haberkorn popped out and Mason Deanna struck out to end the threat, the game, and the regular season. The Bearcats finished the regular season 28-26 and 12-12 in league play. Up next, UC begins play in the American Conference Tournament in Clearwater, Florida as they take on the 3rd-seeded Connecticut Huskies 3-2, 1-8, 1, 14-10 on Wednesday at 3 p.m. The Bearcats and Huskies played a tight series at Marge-Schott Stadium, with UC taking the first game 1-0 on a gem pitched by JT Perez. Connecticut rebounded to take the next 2 games 7-6 and 8-5.